And in fact, fake page is the order of the day.
Right Along Live.
Now, the accident. Tell us the story from your perspective. What really happened?
Yeah. So that day I came out, we were distributing school bags to various constituents. We were behind schedule. And as such, I went to drop one of the workers home who spent the entire day with me. And so I dropped him home, leaving up Willis. But there was a birthday party around a corner. So them guys flagged me down. And you know what it is. You can't drive in a constituency and see an activity happening. You ain't stopping and so. So that's a normal thing. So I stopped up there. We eat wild meat, bought some drinks for the guys. I got a bottle of water and I headed off. Mm-hmm. When I headed off, now, the narrow roads in Willis is very difficult to articulate if you're not a good driver. And in some instances, is prone for accidents. Because years ago, you could have walked through Willis free once you know Mr. This gone. Because maybe about 4 or 5 vehicles existed at the time, years ago. But times change. We now have new routes, Monkuma Road, all kind of areas people would pass in. So you have to always be careful. Traffic is always oncoming. So after I passed the shop, I think I took the 2 individuals that were there, just hail them up and driving along. I mean, I was startled, and I know the bike men was startled. Young people, they're having fun, and I ain't vexed with them for that. They're racing. And as such, I had to be very careful because on the opposite side of me was a drain.
Right.
Deep drain. And it's either 2 things. Either I took the decision to go down alongside that drain and avoid everything altogether. And the threat was, if I took that decision, there were 2 young children, females, in fact, young girls, walking on that side of the road as well. So had I gone down there and would have had to dance and so on, that would have been a recipe for disaster. That van could have flipped, all kind of things. You never could have tell what could have happened.
Right.
And as such, I almost had to avoid the young man and still stay the course without almost going down in the drain. So the road is very narrow. In fact, anyone can go there and they can see where the marks are from when we went to recount the accident itself. So that road is a very narrow road. Additionally, it's a blind corner. Mm-hmm. Because once you're by the shop, you cannot immediately see. You're coming up a hill and it's a corner. Right? You cannot immediately see what is coming. So, yes, you have to be cautious, but both drivers had to be cautious. Mm-hmm. So that was the real issue. The incident occurred, and my initial reaction was to get help for the young man. Now, I could have ignored the whole situation because clearly I was impacted on my side. But I didn't see it like that because that's not how you live life. I took the young man to the hospital. I remember him calling his mom, etc. And by the time I reached the hospital, I saw all kind of things. But I ignore all of these things because at the end of the day, I just wanted to know if the young man was okay.
Were you speeding? Or were you on the phone?
No, I was not on phone or anything like that. In fact, the phone was on the chair, right? Mm-hmm. Right where I left the phone when I came out from the vehicle by the birthday party. I left the phone in the van. So the phone was on the chair, right? So I wasn't speeding or anything. People say I had a drink in my hand. People say I had a lady in the van, all kind of thing. Absolutely nothing of the sort.
So hold on. So you didn't have a drink in your hand?
No, I didn't have any drink in my hand. I didn't have no phone in my hand. I wasn't on the phone or anything like that. But if you're on the phone or you have a drink, you wouldn't be speeding. I mean, that's just difficult to do in the first place. So that was just...
How are you clarifying these things? Because, again, all of this stuff was put out there.
So it's a case where lie, eventually you might get some to believe, and then some who just fed up, you'll get them not to vote, etc. So we understand the intent with all this propaganda and lies and so on. And in fact, fake page is the order of the day. Because I could tell you, most of these people who hiding behind a fake page is because they can't say it up front because it's not true. And that's just the reality. But outside of that, I could tell you this, that I didn't stop there. And I didn't have to do it because I did not take liability for the accident. So the Friday, when we went to recount the accident itself, I spoke to Mom, asked if the principal was in contact with our school, etc. Because I personally, one of the first things I did was to meet with the principal to discuss the student and to ensure that his education would be preserved, that he wouldn't lose time, whatever material that he would require, etc. Please make it available. Whatever we can do from a ministry standpoint or government standpoint, we are prepared to do that. And then the second element was to engage hospital services to ensure that he would get all the care without any major costs or anything like that. So we did that from institutions or an institutional standpoint. Now, I was a bit surprised because the Friday this occurred, the Saturday I had some work doing, and I'm a family man as well. So my children are always ramping on me, and so I could never get anything done home unless they're gone to sleep or I'm at the office, which I am not. No. So the Friday, the Saturday, Sunday, someone drew to my attention that I am being accused of all kinds of things on a live. And I was a bit taken aback because contrary to what people say, I am not an evil person. In fact, anybody could come. They used to worry for me and give me a nice story. And I just say, all right, don't bother, hold that, help yourself, do what you have to do. Or they need to get something. So I'm not that kind of person who holds grudges, and I'm not that kind of person, right? But I was really taken aback, and in particular, with the levels of lies being told on me in particular, knowing fully well that none of that is true.